Hi, so 14, 15, 16-year-old females are being plied with strong alcohol at a drinking establishment, after which they repay the bartenders by having sex with them in the customer toilets.
Well, there is nothing we can do. Age of consent is 14 in Austria.
These female minors are being plied with alcohol, and then adult men are engaging sexually with them when they are intoxicated.
Well, there is nothing we can do. Age of consent is 14 in Austria.
The females are then introduced to elder associates of the bar. They're driven from the bar to the private apartments of these elder men. They are 50, 60, 70 years of age. They are offered cocaine, champagne.
Well, there is nothing we can do. Age of consent is 14 in Austria.
Okay, well, at the private apartments of these men, the schoolgirls, minors, children are offered international flights between Vienna and Serbia. Multiple different men, all using the same MO, always trying to fly these girls to the same destination. This is clearly sex trafficking.
Well, there is nothing we can do. Age of consent is 14 in Austria.
The females are then taken to hotel rooms with multiple men where they engage in group sex, after which they receive direct payment for their services. This sex is therefore transactional prostitution. Because they are minors, this is child prostitution.
Well, there is nothing we can do. Age of consent is 14 in Austria.
The girls are offered inducements such as breast implants and cosmetic procedures, both of which are highly illegal.
Well, there is nothing we can do. Age of consent is 14 in Austria.
My life has been threatened numerous times by multiple people for witnessing all of this and for the information that I possess.
Well, there is nothing we can do. Age of consent is 14 in Austria.
What does that have to do with my life being threatened? One adult male is quoted as saying to one of the underage female victims that he wants to fly her to Serbia to have sex with his entire village and even his own father.
Well, there is nothing we can do. Age of consent is 14 in Austria.
One of the females said that a 60-year-old male, upon driving the female from the bar back to his private apartment, gave her cocaine, champagne, and purchased a ticket for her from Vienna International Airport to Belgrade International Airport in Serbia, saying to the female that he is rich.
Well, there is nothing we can do. Age of consent is 14 in Austria.
One of the female victims is quoted as saying that she had to sleep with one of the bartenders of this specific bar in the 22nd district of Wien because she had no money to pay for her drinks.
Well, there is nothing we can do. Age of consent is 14 in Austria.
A 16-year-old female claimed that she was raped in the customer toilet facilities of this specific bar in the 22nd district of Vienna.
Well, there is nothing we can do. Age of consent is 14 in Austria.
Where's the consent? The police, the educational and safeguarding systems, the KJH, child protection and youth welfare, all of these systems in Vienna, Austria are failing catastrophically. There is absolutely no protection for females over the age of 14 regarding grooming and sexual exploitation. You literally have one of the perpetrators stating his intent to fly one of the victims from Vienna International Airport to Serbia for the purpose of sexual exploitation and prostitution. The age of consent does not cover that. The age of consent does not legitimize the provision of a controlled substance, cocaine, to a minor. The age of consent does not legitimize a minor being flown by an adult male she does not know out of the country to an international destination. That is trafficking. The age of consent does not legitimize transactional sex for direct payment in currency, which constitutes prostitution under the age of 18. That is prostitution involving a minor. That is child prostitution. And yet, the Wiener Polizei instrumentalized the age of consent being 14 to legitimize all of this. There is no protection for your daughters, and they are being transactionalized, adultified, primed for sexual exploitation and prostitution, and the state is failing.